good. Hi, welcome back to the channel. It's week 6 of our devotional on another week of 5K training. We're going to try a little bit of a different format for doing this video this week. What do you think, Sades? Yeah.
Going in! 3, 2, 1, go!
So what you can't see is my laptop here. Something I don't think I've mentioned on here yet is that I've started doing a little bit of work from home to help supplement my new expensive habit of running at Disney. So I find myself sitting here at our little breakfast bar drinking coffee, working on my computer quite a bit. But as I mentioned already in the intro for this video, I'm going to try a new format. Instead of me doing all of the Run It Nicky at once and having it be a whole bunch of me talking, I'm going to try to space it out. So today's Tuesday. We'll do day 29 and 30. Psalm 32 verse 8. I will instruct you and teach you in the way which you should go. I will advise you with my eye upon you. A crossroad is a place of decision that will affect the course of one's life. Proverbs 3, 5 through 6 is, a lot of people know this one. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him and he shall direct your paths. None of us can afford to rely on our own understanding. Because of our finite nature, we are limited. Even what we see and what we think we know can be very different from what is actually true. Only an all-wise, all-knowing, and all-loving God can be trusted to provide the very best for us in every area of our lives. And then today's, for Tuesday, day 30, in First Corinthians chapter 2, it says, this is Paul talking. Yes, Paul talking. My message and my preaching were not with wise and persuasive words, but with the demonstration of the Spirit's power, so that your faith might not rest on human wisdom, but on God's power. The message of the gospel is our victory, and it is complete, so absolute and all-encompassing. That is why Jesus said, "It is finished." Every single belief and every doctrine must be built on the foundation of Christ and the cross, or else in some way it will be fraudulent and empty, offering no sustaining hope, no sustaining life, no sustaining truth, no sustaining power, and no sustaining victory. And I added a note that only God is everlasting. And I know that I've shared that with my middle school girls when I do the FCA thing. It's one little devotion I'll do with them every year, just as a reminder, even if it's the same girls hearing the same thing, that it's so easy to get so focused on things of this world. All of it is going to pass away. Only God is everlasting. So why not put your hope in something that's going to last forever instead of, focusing on things of this world that, are finite, like it said. I mean, everything in this world comes to an end. There's only one thing that lasts forever. So, and that should be encouraging, that we have something we can put our hope in that will last forever, and we don't have to worry about it going away. So, all right. Well, the next thing I plan on doing is on Wednesday, I'm going to take Sadie out for a little run leash work. We haven't done that in a while, so I'll catch up with you for Sadie run leash time on Wednesday. Are you ready to go for a little jog? We haven't been out here in a while, so this is going to be interesting. I'll have to check and see if that's a new PR for you. Where you going? Gotta stay with me? We gotta cool down. Sadie was 3 minutes off her actual mile PR. So, but I still call it a win because she hasn't been out here in a long time, and then this is the first time we've actually run out here, I think. So I call it a win. I don't know if you can see her back there. She's right here. All right, so this is Wednesday, by the way. Day 31 for Run with Nicky. Passing alongside the Sea of Galilee, he saw Simon and Andrew, the brother of Simon, casting a net into the sea, for they were fishermen. And Jesus said to them, "Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men." And immediately they left their nets and followed him. God is calling us into greater obedience all of the time. Are you hearing him and following? There is no time for business as usual. Today, may we start to open our hearts and lives more to the call of Christ. Being about my Father's business means you have the confidence that he is backing you up and you can move in power, love, and soundness of mind wherever, however, and wherever he calls. It means you lay down your life, your fears, insecurities, doubts, and worries, the past, mistakes, self-ambition, half-heartedness, the life you once knew, all of it. Let's take up our cross and further his kingdom. And in the middle there, you know, she just talks about what we're going to experience when we are truly diving into God's will for us. She talks a lot about looking foolish, and how, you know, a lot of what the disciples did, and even before Christ came, you know the story of Noah, the story of all pretty much all of those great stories. Those aspects of the stories are going to seem foolish to everyone else. I mean, David and Goliath, this small little dude going up against a giant, seems kind of foolish. Building a boat and thinking there's going to be a flood, very foolish. But on the other side of doing what God is calling us to do is such great blessing. So that is what I take from day 31, is to not be afraid and know that if you're being called to do something kind of crazy, that there'll be great blessing on the other side for you and for others all around you. So that was a mile run. I'm gonna go home and do another mile on the tread, and I got strength training today. Tomorrow is super exciting. I'm meeting up with my dad, and we are mapping out a course for a fundraiser 5K I'm gonna be putting on here in a little bit. So I'll bring you along on our little walk, jog, whatever my dad's feeling, as we plot out a course for a 5K race. So fun. We're out at a local park where I'm gonna have my fundraiser 5K. I got this guy with me. Say hi, Dad.
Hello.
And so he walks, and I have to jog to keep up with him. So that's how this is gonna work. So we're gonna see what a 5K is out here. Look at a squirrel. Caution, runners. Sharp right turn ahead. Now I gotta catch up to him.
Hello. We're having fun.
Yep. Dad, you just finished the test run for the FCA 5K. What are you gonna do now?
Go to Creek Hall for breakfast.
I didn't know what you said for a second. Like, what is Creek Holler?
That's what it is.
Mom's gonna make us breakfast.
I wish they did.
No. So hopefully this little weekly update is a little more interesting to watch instead of me just talking for 10 minutes straight. But I am about to do 3 in a row for Run with Nicky. I was trying to do a daily, but just life happens and things get in the way. But I will give you a quick 5K update, a 5K training update. I finally broke down and got a ankle brace. I haven't tried it yet. I've just walked around in it a little bit, but I think it might help a little bit. For some reason, this particular, it's not really a brace. It's like a compression sleeve with a ankle thing that wraps around. But it has a seam that runs from like the back of your leg to, right underneath the bottom of your foot. So I'm not really sure what's going to happen when I try to run with that seam right in the bottom. We'll see. But I will keep you posted on how that goes. But I definitely, for any trail running, which, our 5K coming up at Hell and Back is all trail, I'm going to need a little bit of proprioceptive support, or else I'll just end up twisting it again. But I had a good week running-wise. I did a workout, a pretty hard workout, and it felt really good except for, my ankle hurting a little bit. But, I keep telling myself this isn't for a true 5K race time. I was just, working on my speed, which I think I have improved on my speed. But I almost wonder if maybe I tried to go back into speed training a little bit too soon after marathon training, because it feels like it's taking me a long time to feel like I did during marathon training, where, it was hard, but it didn't feel, maybe it's a little bit of burnout too still. I don't know. But anyway. All right, so Run with Nicky. We're on day 32. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. John chapter 10, verse 27. We can only know who we are in correlation to who God says we are to him. His written word is the core of his voice. He also speaks by his still small voice and sometimes audibly. He can use nature to get our attention. He can use history. He can speak through friends and family, a song, a dream, a vision, a complete stranger. His voice communicates his heart and his mind. To know his voice is to walk in his presence. Communication is one of God's many specialties. If there seemed to be a wall between God's expressions of his love and his character in your heart, ask him to teach you. Ask him to strengthen you with power to understand the truth about his relationship with you. From Ephesians chapter 3, I pray that you, being rooted and established in my love, may have power together with all of the Lord's holy people to grasp how wide and how long and high and deep is the love of Christ, and to know this love that surpasses knowledge, that you may be filled to the measure of all the fullness of God. And when I read this one, it made me think about the If Gathering conference that I just got to participate in a few weeks ago. And one of the things that they centered a lot of their talking around was how the Lord is our shepherd. That psalm, and I'm awful, I can't remember which psalm it is, but the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want, that whole thing. And if you really dig into what a shepherd does for his sheep, and it's really quite amazing how the sheep will know their shepherd's specific voice. And if another shepherd tries to talk to them or get them to do things, they may not necessarily do it because they are very loyal and dependent on their shepherd's voice, it's really amazing how God, orchestrates things in our reality, in our world that show who he is, you know what I'm saying? All right, day 33. Romans chapter 4, verse 18 through 22. Without weakening his faith, he faced that his body was good as dead since he was about 100 years old. Oh, we're talking about Abraham. And that Sarah's womb was also dead. Yet he did not waver through unbelief regarding the promise of God, but was strengthened in his faith and gave glory to God, being fully persuaded that God had power to do what he had promised. Sometimes we are surrounded with facts in the natural that are in direct contradiction with God-given promises. Like Abraham, we are not to deny natural circumstances, but we are to look beyond them. Our impossibilities are the perfect platform for God's greatest miracles. The Bible says, the just shall live by faith. And she has a list here about different ways, or what faith looks like. Believes in the greatness and sovereignty of God, believes that nothing is impossible with God. Faith opened the womb of a barren woman, raised dead to life, opened blind eyes and deaf ears, water into wine, 5 loaves and 2 fish and feeding thousands, turns nothing into something, and moves mountains. All right, last one for this week, day 34, Psalm 25, verse 17. Relieve the troubles of my heart and free me from this anguish. And she talks about, and I completely agree with this, and even though some of them are really long, they're really, really good, that the Psalms are a great place to find where it's written, the different emotions that we can have towards God, the happy, the sad, the anger, you see it all in there, and it always comes back around to, yes, as a human, I'm feeling this way, but I know that you're still good type thing, and how we get there. So Psalms are really good. But she's talking about Psalm 25. David encouraged his soul by remembering and rehearsing what he believed about God, the promises, and then pulled his emotions up into his beliefs, or placed his emotions under the governance of his beliefs. David models for us how to view and pray for what we find difficult, confusing, fearful, and troubling. He took the swollen troubles of his heart to God, asked him for what he needed, stirred up his courage by confessing his faith, and then cast his cares upon God, who cared for him. So search those Psalms. If you're like me, I often will use Google. If you're having a particular time with something, Google a Psalm, that'll help you. They're great to use. It's just, if you don't know what to pray a Psalm. It's good stuff. All right, so this video will be going up the day after Palm Sunday, but happy Palm Sunday. I can't believe we've reached the end. We have one more week of Run with Nicky, and then it's going to be Easter. And I'll talk more about Easter, obviously, in the next one. But I absolutely love Easter. I love Christmas too, but Easter is just a very defining moment, and as far as I see it in the Christian belief that Jesus overcame death, and we have the ability to live forever with him, which is amazing. And it's hard for our little human mind to understand, but I hope everyone's doing well, and I'm so excited to see everybody's pictures and Insta stories from springtime. I think on my extended forecast of Run Disney races, springtime is a few years away, because I do the 1 a year thing, so I hope for a good theme whenever I get around to doing springtime. So please be sure to share all the fun stuff. Give this video a like, comment if you're going to springtime, what races you're doing, what costumes, if you are somebody that's not trying to do a surprise for your costume, let me know what you're dressing up as. And be sure to subscribe. I'm very excited for Easter, so subscribe to see the next week's video. It'll be good. Always remember that you are God's masterpiece, and I'll see you next time. Let's go for a run next week. You want to go for a run next week?